face the Arkansas Razorbacks. As we welcome you into Bridgestone Arena with Casey Manning, I am Derek Scott. South Carolina found itself shaking the collective heads after all the tiebreakers were settled on Saturday, and they figured out that a tie for second still meant they had to come in and play on Thursday and not get the double bye that so many thought was assured by a win in the final game of the regular season. But here they are, and it's all a clean slate now, Casey. Win in advance, lose and go home. At least in this instance, lose and go home only means you're home for a few days before you're going to the NCAA tournament.
We'll find out Sunday, I think, afternoon or Sunday evening, where we'll be going. We know we're going somewhere. And like Coach Parrish says, it makes a difference, but I don't think it's going to change our approach to the game.
Meanwhile, the Razorbacks, who have been to the Sweet 16 3 consecutive years, find themselves with only 16 wins this year, a 500 record for Coach Eric Musselman. In all 8 previous seasons for Muss as a college head coach at Arkansas, at Nevada, his squads have won 20 games every season. Again, they're at 16-16, but you don't rule them out because they've got talent. They've got Caleb Battle and Trevin Brazil and Devo Davis and Tremont Mark. They've got a lot of guys that can show some real firepower. This team looks somewhat different from the Arkansas squad that seemed a bit disinterested when we saw them back in January.
We sort of snuck it in and ambushed them on their home court, but it's a different story at the end of the season. It's a different story in the tournament, and I think the Razorbacks are going to be ready.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? That's a bold question, but it's got that irresistible taste to back it up. It's too bad you can't taste with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar. Best Coke ever? We'll have your starting lineups in the play-by-play after this message. South Carolina and Arkansas go back to their benches where the starting lineups are about to be introduced. In fact, they are being introduced. Let's join our public address announcer, John George.
At forward, a 6'10" sophomore from Springfield, Missouri. Number 2, Trevin Brazil. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Durham, North Carolina. Number 30, Ellis. And at guard, a 6'6" junior from Dickinson, Texas. Number 12, Tremont Mark. And the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Eric Musselman. And now, the South Carolina Gamecocks from Columbia, South Carolina. At forward, a 6'7" freshman from Columbia, South Carolina. All SEC freshman team, number 30, Collin. At guard, a 6'4" senior from Lamont, South Carolina. Second team, all SEC, number 55, Collin. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 2, B.J. Mack. At guard, a 6'7" sophomore from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Number 12, Zachary Davis.
Let's go, win the first four. Win the first four.
Number 5, second team, all SEC.
Everybody's defensive rebound.
There's your lineups. We did not have the mic feed from the PA we thought we'd have, so we'll recap those lineups for you. No surprise from what you expect out of the Gamecock starters. Beachy Johnson, Zachary Davis, Talon Cooper in the backcourt, B.J. Mack and Collin Murray-Boyles up front. For Arkansas, the point guard is L. Ellis, a 6'3", 180 grad student from Durham, North Carolina, averaging 6.7 points and 2 assists per game. Caleb Battle on one wing, 6'5", 185, grad student, transfer from Temple. Hillside, New Jersey native, 14.5 points, 3 rebounds a game. And the other wing is Tremont Mark, a junior from Dickinson, Texas, who's 6'6" and 185. He averages a team best 16.7 points per game with 4.3 rebounds. Up front, Trevin Brazil, 6'10", 220, redshirt sophomore from Springfield, Missouri, 8.5 points, a team best 6 rebounds a game. And Chandler Lawson, who's 6'8" and 210, a grad student from Memphis, 3.7 points, 3.2 rebounds. Razorbacks will be wearing red with white numerals and lettering trimmed in black. Gamecocks, the home team, wearing white, garnet numerals and lettering with black trim, and of course the block C on the side of the shorts. And we are just about ready to play basketball. Our officials, Don Daly, Olandis Poole, and Vladimir Voyard-Tadal. Murray-Boyles and Brazil in the center jump circle. The South Carolina Gamecocks postseason gets underway as the ball is tossed in the air and the Razorbacks win the tip. And the second round matchup between the 5 seed and the 12 seed gets going here in Music City. Carolina in a man-to-man with Talon Cooper guarding L. Ellis at the top of the key. Caleb Battle comes to get the basketball, drives into B.J. Mack, gives off the ball to Lawson. They'll reverse to Brazil. He'll try a three, and it's good. Trevin Brazil knocked down 3 3-pointers last night, and he starts off looking very confident as the 6'10" redshirt sophomore sinks his first shot. 3-0 Razorbacks. Gamecocks with the basketball. As B.J. Mack will drive to the hoop, and he'll score it, and he's fouled. He gets the contact from Brazil, and B.J. picks up where he left off when these teams met back in January when he had 18 points and 9 rebounds.
Well, you know, it seems the last couple of games, you have Meechie Johnson going to the hole as well as B.J. Mack putting pressure on the rim, Derek.
Brazil's first personal, and B.J. shooting a free throw coming off of his dynamic performance in Starkville when he had 25 points, only missed 3 shots. He was 8 of 11 against that daunting Bulldog front line, and he was 7 of 8 at the free throw line. He makes the freebie here. We are tied at 3. Arkansas spends so much time attacking off the dribble. They get a lot of free throw opportunities, so the Gamecocks have to be careful and not foul. L. Ellis sends it to Brazil. He'll try another 3, this one in the corner, and he hits again. Trevin Brazil is a guy who, coming into this season, people were talking about as a possible lottery pick, and then he had a really subpar year, averages, less than 9 points a game. But he seems like a guy who's locked in here in postseason play, trying to prove a point. He's 2 for 2. Here's a great drive from Meechie. His pass a little too hot for Murray-Boyles, but Collin able to gobble it up, and they kick it back to the perimeter. Now Murray-Boyles in the low post, backing in, puts up the jump hook with the left hand. That's off the mark, and Arkansas grabs the rebound. 6-3, Razorbacks lead on a couple of back-to-back three-pointers for a team that doesn't typically shoot threes terribly well. They are 32% on the season and average 6 a game. Here's a bump on the perimeter, and the foul will be called on Zachary Davis. He's guarding Tremont Mark. That's a hard job today.
Tough assignment, and he gave him a freebie that time. He didn't need to hit him.
Mark, the transfer from Houston. He had 18 the first time these squads met. He had 18 last night. 6-3, Razorbacks with the ball and the lead. And Zach Davis trying to get a second foul. He doesn't get whistled, fortunately, and Mark misses a runner in the lane. Meechie grabs the rebound. He's got to be a little more careful than that.
He almost got a second.
Meechie will try a deep 3 from the left side, leaves it short. Rebound tipped, bobbled, and chased. Brazil dives across the end line and saves it back into a teammate. 6-3 Razorbacks after a couple of early threes from their big man, Trevin Brazil. Here's L. Ellis working the ball screen on the right wing with Lawson. Now Lawson will try and back down B.J. Mack. Goes to the baseline, hung up in a double team. Nearly lost it, lobs it back out to Brazil. He'll try another 3. This one's an air ball, and Zach Davis gets the rebound.
That's more his style. He came this game hitting 22 from downtown.
Good defense there from Collin Murray-Boyles. Meechie's open, and he's going to pass it, though, to B.J. He'll try a 3. That's short. Long rebound comes out to the top of the key to Meechie, and he'll drive to the rim. Contact, no foul. Ball lost. Arkansas picks it up. And here they come in transition with a 3-on-2. Caleb Battle drives, kicks, throws it away. Murray-Boyles with the steal.
Right place, right time. It always seems to be.
6-3 Gamecocks trail. We've played 3 minutes here in Nashville. Meechie on the left wing looking for Murray-Boyles in the low post. On a mismatch, he's being guarded by L. Ellis. Now they'll lob it to him. L. Ellis breaks it up, chases it, lobs it into a teammate. Great hustle play by L. Ellis. Ahead to Caleb Battle. He'll drive on Talon Cooper. Talon makes the deflection, but it goes back to Battle, and he goes up and under and scores it and is fouled. That's a bad break for the Gamecocks as Talon Cooper played great defense and knocked the ball free, but then in trying to save it in bounds, he and his teammate Murray-Boyles collided and bumped it back to the opposition, and it was Battle scoring it on the up and under, and the foul is called on the Gamecocks, and I think they gave that one to B.J. Mack.
Yeah, we're in a scoring drought of 2 minutes, 41 seconds.
Caleb Battle, a free throw shooter of great renown, 87%, and he sinks his first attempt, and it is 9-3 Arkansas. So a slow start for the Gamecocks, and the Razorbacks, who played last night, I'm sure that gives you that surge of energy when you win an overtime game and come back and play again the next day. We'll see how it affects their legs later in this contest. They played back-to-back overtime games. Michi was open again for three, didn't take it. Gives it off to Murray-Boyles. Collin will drive to the rim. He'll miss the layup. Brazil chased him there and contested it, and off the glass, Murray-Boyles with a rare miss from close range. Here's Battle attacking and beats Cooper to the rim, and he lays it up and in from low on the right. That quick first step from Caleb Battle. He had 24 last night, and he starts off fast here with 5 quick ones, and the Razorbacks have the 11-3 early lead on South Carolina. Gamecocks look a little bit rusty right now. Here's Murray-Boyles to the rim. He'll score it, and he's fouled. A little pick and roll, and he gets bumped by Brazil, and that's 2 early fouls on Trevin Brazil. Collin Murray-Boyles gets his first bucket. He'll be at the line for a free throw when we come back. 11-5, Gamecocks trail it early. We'll return to Nashville after this. Media timeout against Arkansas, 11-5. And the transportation for the Gamecock Radio Network has been provided by Jim Hudson Lexus for our SEC Tournament coverage. Jim Hudson Lexus is ranked #1 nationally in customer satisfaction among all dealerships. We appreciate him stepping up and helping us with this trip to Music City.
Well, that score by Collin Murray-Boyles stopped an 8-0 run by the Razorbacks, and Collin had missed his first 2 shots, but it was good on the third, and he's at the line now for an old-fashioned three.
Gamecocks make some substitutions during the media timeout. The 7-footer, Josh Gray, is on the court. So is Miles Studi as Murray-Boyles sinks the free throw. So a new front court, a couple of them at least, in Studi and Gray as B.J. Mack and Michi Johnson sit down. Zach Davis also sits down as Jacoby Wright, I just noticed, is on the court as well for South Carolina. It's 11-6 Arkansas. Razorbacks had to get Trevin Brazil off the court with those early fouls. They bring Mekhi Mitchell on, who's 6'10", 240 senior, who's playing very well down the stretch for them. Lawson will try a three. That comes up short for Arkansas, and Talon Cooper grabs the rebound. Gamecocks are happy to let Chandler Lawson shoot 3-pointers. He's 43%, but that only amounts to 6 of 14. Josh Gray handling it at the top of the key, brings the dribble handoff to Jacoby Wright, who drives into the paint, puts up a shot, left it short. Rebound tipped out into the hands of Caleb Battle. Jacoby got down there in the low post, didn't realize he was dealing with some bigs. Here's a three on the go from Battle. That misses, and Murray-Boyles cleans up the rebound. Talon Cooper into the front court, weaves his way into the paint, now kicks out to the top of the key. Gamecocks reverse it, Studi on the right baseline. Tries to drive, cut off, drops the ball, picks it up, bounces in the post to Murray-Boyles. 12 on the shot clock, double team at Collin. He fights through it, puts up a jump hook, and scores it softly with the left hand.
Like you said, he rarely misses close in.
Voted into the SEC's all-freshman team earlier this week, and boy, he's deserved it. After missing the early portion of the season with mononucleosis, he has been a house of fire here lately. Last 10 games for Murray-Boyles have been tremendous. 11-8, Gamecocks have cut the deficit to 3. Here's a drive from Mark, draws the defense, kicks to Lawson, slashing on the baseline, and Lawson scores it from below on the right. Those perimeter attackers, Mark and Battle, can really distract the defense. That extra help leans on them, and you lose sight of your man, and that's what happened there. Here's a pick and roll, and it's going to result in a big dunk for Murray-Boyles. Nifty pass from Jacoby Wright, and Collin Murray-Boyles has run off 3 straight field goals.
Well, he passed it to Jacoby, went to the basket. Nice pocket pass.
CMB was 7 already, 7 of the Gamecocks' 10. And Carolina's down by 3. 13-10 your score, 13 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Mitchell in the high post on the left side, squares up against Josh Gray, drives to the baseline. Murray-Boyles reaches in, knocks it free. Mitchell recovers and shoots a jump hook and gets it to go anyway. That's a tough score for Mackay Mitchell, playing with a lot of confidence. His last 13 games, Mitchell averaging almost 14 points a game to go with 7 rebounds. Here's Talon Cooper, low on the right, splits a double team and banks a shot up and in. Coop caught it right at the rim, but there were 2 defenders surrounding him, but he, as always, took his time, made the defense blink first, and then subtly slid it up and off the glass. The Gamecocks have made 3 straight shots, but they can't get a stop. They're still down by 3, 15-12. Right or left wing, L. Ellis takes his dribble back behind the three-point arc, feeds to Mitchell, who has to go in the corner to catch it against Josh Gray. Shot clock at 2, shot clock at 1. Mitchell, follow-away jumper, comes up short, long rebound out to Jacoby Wright, who jogs it ahead. Numbers aren't there. Now he gives to Murray-Boyles. Murray-Boyles races to the rim, slashes and puts it in with the right hand.
Boy, he's looked sensational, hasn't he?
The delayed break, the secondary break, and Collin Murray-Boyles looked like he was feasting on Mackay Mitchell. Here's a deflection by the Gamecock defense into the backcourt, but Tremont Mark runs it down. Carolina within 1, 15-14. Mark drives into Gray. That's a travel. Nothing called, and at the rim, Mitchell has his shot blocked, and Stute takes it away from him.
They're letting them play.
You're not relying there. Here's Josh Gray at the rim. Goes up from low on the left, misses, rebound, lost. Come on, Josh, you got to finish there. And Arkansas picks up the basketball. And here comes Mark going coast to coast, throws a shot high off the glass, misses it, rebound tip to Jacoby Wright. Here comes Carolina in transition, looking for the lead. Cooper bumped on his way to the basket. They'll say it's before the shot. He'll be at the line. No, it'll be a non-shooting foul. Gamecocks will have the basketball when we come back. Carolina responds after being down by 8 points early. They've got the basketball down by 1. 15-14 with 11:32 left in the first half. We'll return after this. Carolina down 1 to Arkansas, 15-14, 11:32 remaining in the first half. In today's fast-paced world, you'll really appreciate Sansbury Eye Center's selection, style, comfort, price, and 1-hour service. But what you'll love most of all is the precision of your vision. That's what a bright, clear Sansbury day is all about. Well,
Collin Murray-Boyles missed his first 2 shots, made his last 4 shots. We're 4 or 5 from the field. That's why we're down only by 1.
Gamecock basketball. Morris Ugasuk getting some early playing time as Talon Cooper gets a rest, and he inbounds it from underneath the hoop. Got it on the right wing now. Morris, the freshman from Helsinki, Finland. Bad pass, stolen away, run out, and Lawson misses the dunk. Oh, thank you very much. Freshman mistake, and Gamecocks get away with it. Now here's Jacoby Wright driving the right baseline with the big man Lawson missing, but good defense there by Battle. Cuts him off, and they'll bring it back out front. Meechie Johnson hasn't scored yet. Gamecocks need to get Meech involved. B.J. Mack is back on the court for South Carolina along with Meechie. Ugasuk drives the right baseline, and he's bumped. You know, Morris, for a freshman, is pretty fearless, but there may be times where he needs to realize of the guys on the court right now, he's probably last in line for who should be looking for their offense.
He's not shy.
He is not. The foul on the Razorbacks goes on Tremont Mark. That's his first. Gamecocks inbound from underneath. Give it into BJ. Backs in with the up and under move. Misses the shot. Offensive rebound. Kick out to Stute. 3 in the left corner is good.
Well, good look by BJ to find Stute all alone.
Instead of trying to force up the second chance amongst traffic, he finds Stute. Miles gives the Gamecocks their first three-pointer and their first lead. It is 17-15. Gamecocks on a 7-0 run. Here's Arkansas with a new big man on the court. That is Jalen Graham with a nice move to the rim, and he'll score it with the right hand. Graham didn't play last night. In fact, he hadn't played in the last 8 games. But with the foul trouble early for Trevin Brazil, they get him on the court. He goes right after it and gets a bucket and ties this thing up at 17. Here is Jacoby Wright driving to the bucket. Has his shot rejected out of bounds. It will stay with Carolina.
They're one of the leading shot blockers in the country.
They average 6.1 per game, which is 5th best in the nation. Ugasuk and Wright will sit down as Talon Cooper and Zach Davis will return. Gamecocks will have 13 on the shot clock as they inbound from underneath the basket. Arkansas has Devo Davis on the floor, 6'4", 185 senior guard, been in this program for 4 full seasons, and he is a key cog for them. Gamecocks inbound to Michi. Michi in the low post, spins and beats his man on the baseline and scores it.
Well, he took him to school that time.
Don't see Michi posting up too often at 6'2", but looked completely comfortable doing so. His first 2 points. Carolina has the lead 19-17 midway through the first half of play. Tremont Mark on the left wing. Gamecocks with a hard hedge force him to give it up. He goes to Graham. Graham in the low post. Double team. Kicks it out. Good ball movement. Devo Davis slips and falls as he's about to attack. Shot clock at 2, so Battle lets a 3 rip, and he hits it from 23 feet away. I don't think he was looking to take that shot, but he looked up and the shot clock was at 2. And Caleb Battle has his first 3-pointer in the first of the game. The third of the game for the Razorbacks. Trevin Brazil hit 2 early for Arkansas. Razorbacks back in front, 20-19. Gamecocks with the pick and roll. It is B.J. Mack who can't finish at the rim, but he was fouled. Again, nifty use of the head and shoulder fake to get the defender off his feet, and Jalen Graham got him, and B.J. banked it up, and it just did trickle off the front of the cylinder. Almost an and-one opportunity. Instead, he'll have to earn it at the free throw line. B.J. Mack, the transfer from Wofford in his lone season in Garnet and Black, has put together a tremendous year, averaging 13.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. He makes his first free throw here.
And he's been very solid at the line the last 3 or 4 games.
He is 77% on the season, and he was 7 of 8 on Saturday. And he makes another one here, so he's 3 for 3 so far today. Gamecocks are 4 for 4. Got to be good at the line, as good as Arkansas is. They are 75%, and in the last 7 games, the Hogs are 86% as a team. That is crazy. 21-20 Gamecocks, 9 minutes left, first half, running clock, pull-up jumper, 18 feet, left side, good. That's Tremont Mark getting in the score column. Leading scorer on this Arkansas team, and that's where he likes to work, in the mid-range. He's got 36 threes, but I think he's more comfortable pulling up from 15 feet away or slashing to the basket. Arkansas back on top as we go back and forth. Michi with a drive to the bucket, misses a shot, rebound tipped out to Battle. He'll go coast to coast, and B.J. Mack picks his pocket, knocks it free, picked up by Cooper. Carolina comes the other way. Gamecocks get away with a double dribble, and they're going to get a bucket out of it, as Zach Davis is the one who probably double dribbled, but they didn't call it. And after a couple passes, he gets it back, and he lays it in from low on the right. Well, we thought there was a walk at the other end early, and there was no call, so I guess all's good. 23-22. Gamecocks by 1. Graham backs B.J. Mack down, and from low on the right, puts it up and in. A burst from Jalen Graham, who gives Arkansas 4 points off the bench. Again, hadn't played in the last 8 games for them. Michi, deep 3, too strong, rebound. Zach Davis knocks it around and now commits a foul as he got tangled up with Davenport trying to wrestle for that basketball. That'll be 2 on Zach, and Arkansas will have the basketball when we come back. 7:50 remaining first half. Hogs with a 1-point lead at 24-23. Now this one.
And 4, but 25% downtown, but 4 from the line.
Casey, a win today ties the University of South Carolina men's basketball program record for single-season wins. That, of course, was set during the Final Four season of 2016-17. So another milestone in reach if Carolina can make it 26 on the year and move on to the quarterfinals in a meeting with Auburn tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it looks good so far. The Razorbacks have been on fire. Like I said, 4 for the last 4. We know they're tough out, and it's been a good, entertaining first half so far.
Of course, Arkansas and South Carolina came into the SEC together back in the 90s. Of the 12 teams that were in the league at that point in time, of course, we've added Texas A&M and Missouri since then. But of the 12 teams that were in the league for most of those years, South Carolina is the only one left that has never won this conference basketball tournament. It has not been, regardless of what building we've played in, it's been a problem to win in this postseason. And we haven't made it to Saturday in the semifinals so long, and that's what I know a lot of fans would really like to see here. But it starts here in the second round. Zach Davis, by the way, stays on the court with those 2 personal fouls. A little surprising there. Arkansas with the basketball, shot clock at 10. Davenport, the Cincinnati transfer, drives to the free throw line, puts up a wild jump shot from there that misses, and B.J. Mack grabs the rebound.
Good defense.
Carolina, I think, really tried hard not to foul to keep Arkansas off the free throw line. They've only attempted 1 free throw, but they've also maybe gotten a few more good looks because South Carolina, I don't know, maybe you back off a little bit in your aggressiveness when you're worried about fouling so much. B.J. Mack lobbing low for Murray-Boyles, catches at the rim, had the ball knocked free on his way up by Devo Davis, out of bounds. Carolina keeps it with 8 on the shot clock.
Good hands by Devo Davis. That's a sure dunk.
Yeah, he has 21 steals this year, and he was on the SEC's all-defensive team a year ago. So even though he might have been giving up, about 3-4 inches to Collin Murray-Boyles, he's got those long arms. When that ball came down below the waist, he went and got it. Here's a lob to Murray-Boyles off the inbounds. He can't make the clean catch, and then he misses the stick back. Cooper rebounds. They'll kick it out. They'll go back to Murray-Boyles. This time with the soft left-hand jump hook, he scores it. Double figures for Collin. He's got 11 already of South Carolina's 25 points. Gamecocks retake the lead. Zach Davis, by the way, checked out during that dead ball, and the Gamecocks get Jacoby Wright back on the floor. Jacoby guarding Devo Davis. Gamecocks staying man-to-man. Tremont Mark on the left wing. Bounces it to Jalen Graham. Getting extended minutes here today. Gamecocks have him in a double team. He steps through it, fires it cross court to Davenport. He'll step into a 3. That misses. Gamecocks weren't ready for the rebound, but Murray-Boyles there again to bat it to a teammate. It deflected off BJ's hands, but Murray-Boyles with those long arms and that great awareness. Here's BJ, left wing. Head fake on a 3. Now we'll look to back down a smaller defender. Cross-court skip to Jacoby Wright. 3 from the corner, no. Arkansas's got the rebound. Murray-Boyles, frustrated, turns and looks at the officials. Thought he got shoved out of the way. Devo Davis goes coast to coast, and no one ever looked to slow him down, and that's an easy layup for Devo Davis. And I think Lamont Paris frustrated with B.J. Mack not putting in a little more effort into that. He sends Josh Gray to the scorer's table. 26-25 Arkansas. Here's Jacoby Wright driving and kicking. Out to B.J. Run off the three-point line. Shoots the mid-range from the right side and hits it.
We don't see that often from B.J. Mack, the mid-range shot.
He has 7. Murray-Boyles has 11. They were the front runners offensively against Mississippi State, the 2 interior players, and here they are again. Leading the way, Gamecocks with a 27-26 lead. Jalen Graham is going to get another layup as the Gamecocks double-team the perimeter player and left Graham, and he got a feed. And, it's interesting. He's a guy that offensively, when he gets going, he can be tough to handle. They nicknamed him Spin Cycle for all of his spin moves around the basket. Here's a bucket from BJ again. I don't know how he got that one up. Looked like he got shoved in the back as he got the feet underneath the rim. He throws his hands up coming back down the floor, kind of saying, are you kidding me? All that contact and no whistle?
He's got 9 points.
Arkansas's made 6 of their last 8 shots. Gamecocks not getting stops like they normally do. And here's a 3-ball from Mark that misses badly. I'm not sure that even drew iron. Clings off the backboard, and Carolina has it. There's the stop they needed. Now could they string together another bucket? Here's Michi driving the right wing. Kicks out in the corner to Jacoby. Jacoby into the paint. Kicks back to Michi. Left corner 3. Comes up short. And on the weak side, Arkansas's got the rebound. Michi ice cold from the perimeter. 0 for 3 from 3, 1 for 5 overall. Gamecocks lead stays at 1, 29-28. And now a deflection and a turnover. Murray-Boyles knocked it away from Jalen Graham, and Jalen Graham touched it last before it ended up in the Gamecock bench.
He does a little bit of everything, Collin.
He sure does. He fills up a stat sheet. Collin Murray-Boyles' last 10 games. 16 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 70% field goal shooting, 83% free throw shooting. How about 15 steals in those 10 games and 12 block shots? That's everything.
Yeah.
That's doing it all. 29-28 Gamecocks. Carolina gets Josh Gray back on the floor to give BJ a rest, as we were telling you earlier. Murray-Boyles handling at the top of the key. He'll drive. He'll go around his man, and he's fouled on his way up. That quick first step got him around Chandler Lawson. He was going to dunk it if Lawson didn't hack him across the arm. And CMB will be at the line when we come back. Timeout with 3:55 left in the first half. Gamecocks 29, Razorbacks 28. Now this from the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. Gamecocks are the best when it comes to basketball, but Terminix is the best when it comes to pest control. Headquartered in South Carolina, Terminix has been trusted for 75 years to keep your homes and businesses pest-free. Call 1-800-TERMINIX to schedule your service. Out of the timeout, Collin Murray-Boyles at the line to shoot two. Huge half of basketball for the freshman from Columbia, already with 11 points. And now shooting a pair, the left-handed free throw is up, and it's no good. First miss by the Gamecocks here this afternoon. They had made their first four. One more for CMB, 68% on the season. As we told you in the last 10 games, 83%. Morris Ugasuk back on the floor. And Collin gets one out of two and pushes the lead to two at 30-28. Meechie Johnson getting a rest. So Talon Cooper and Morris Ugasuk in the backcourt. Josh Gray, Collin Murray-Boyles, and Jacoby Wright rounding out the five on the floor. Cooper guarding Tremont Mark. Caleb Battle being checked by Jacoby Wright. That's a tough gig for Jacoby. Battle into the paint, feeds it on the left baseline. Shot up and good, and a foul as Mackay Mitchell scores it through Josh Gray. And we'll have an and one opportunity to give Arkansas the lead back. Got him across the arm, couldn't stop the shot. Josh Gray collects personal number one. Miles Studi on the floor for South Carolina as he subs in for Murray-Boyles. Mitchell's free throw is good. Mackay Mitchell with 5 points off the bench. He had 18 for them last night coming off the bench with 6 rebounds, and 3 steals, or two steals and 3 blocks. Razorbacks ahead 31-30 with under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Gamecock halftime report coming over the break. Talon Cooper tries a 3. That's off the iron, no good, and the rebound comes down for the Razorbacks. And I don't think Lamont Paris loved that shot selection from his leader.
It wasn't in rhythm.
Mismatch on the low post. Mitchell trying to be guarded by Miles Studi. Miles giving up a whole lot of size and weight there, and Mitchell will beat him easily as he spins over his right shoulder. Lamont Paris, I think, thought he traveled with the basketball. He's asking Vladimir Voyard-Tadal if Mitchell just gets to shuffle his feet as much as he wants to out there. Lead back to 3 for the Razorbacks. They led by 8 early in this contest. Gamecocks without BJ, Meechie, or Collin on the court. Offense a little harder to find. Cooper drives to the basket, and a foul is called as he jumped right into Mackay Mitchell and more or less forced the officials to finally take the whistle out of their pocket. And now Coop comes up slowly and gingerly and flexing his right knee.
Well, we've only committed 4 fouls. That was the 7th team foul on the Razorbacks.
I think Coop probably realized with the guys I just mentioned on the bench, Meechie, BJ, Collin, he's really got to take charge out there offensively. So Coop shoots a pair. Voted second team All-SEC earlier this week by the league's coaches. Really happy for him. What a great year he has had in his one and only season in Garnet and Black. He sinks the first free throw. 9.7 points a game, a team-high 4.3 assists per game. Second in the SEC in assist-to-turnover ratio. Makes both free throws here. Pulls his team back within 1. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Second round of the SEC men's basketball tournament. The winner gets Auburn tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 Eastern time. Battle, driving. Oh, they'll call a foul and bail him out. He ran right into a double team, and the Gamecocks are whistled for it, and it'll be Talon Cooper who gets that personal. I think Eric Musselman may have spent most of those free throws by Cooper reminding the officials that his team had only gotten to the line a couple times. And Caleb Battle, who drew 9 fouls last night, will shoot free throws number 2 and 3 and he makes the first one.
Well, 87%.
Tell you, you look at his numbers over the last 7 games, he has shot 98 free throws and made 91 of them. I mean, just automatic. Puts the second one up, denies the broadcaster jinx by sinking both. He's in double figures with 10. Again, in the last 6 games, he's averaging 31, so no surprise there. 35-32 Razorbacks. Stute for 3, top of the key, rims out. Josh Gray offensive rebound, and he goes back up and flushes it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, Josh.
Leave nothing to chance. Go jam that thing through the cylinder. He's the biggest guy out there right now. And he gets his first 2 points. And again, the Gamecocks within 1. 35-34. Carolina has only led for about 4 minutes of this first half of play. Arkansas has looked very efficient offensively. Now a foul by Miles Stute on a push, and that was entirely unnecessary. 6th foul on the Gamecocks. He shoved Lawson probably, 25 feet away when he was just going to make a catch of a dribble handoff, not even thinking about attacking. Stute will sit down as Zach Davis returns and Michi returns to replace Ugason. Arkansas has made 4 of its last 5, and they are shooting 56% in this contest. Gamecocks go 1-3-1 zone for the first time today. Lawson gets it in the high post. Nobody even challenged him. He misses the shot, gets an offensive rebound. That's Mitchell who's got it on the left baseline. Takes it out to the perimeter. Now at the top of the key, Battle will drive, spins, loses the handle. Zach Davis takes it away from him. Gamecocks off the turnover. Will go coast to coast. Shot missed by Carolina, but there's Gray with another offensive rebound, and Josh has his second consecutive dunk. Gamecocks in transition. Get the hoop from Josh Gray. Give him 4 points. And that's a boost that this team can't normally count on, so you like seeing it. 36-35. Carolina back in front. Final minute of the first half. And they'll stay in the 1-3-1, and Arkansas turns it over again as Mark has an errant pass intended for Lawson. It sails across the baseline.
Only 5 turnovers in the first half for the Razorbacks. We've committed 3.
Arkansas doesn't turn it over a terribly large amount, 12 times per game. Carolina making them uncomfortable with that 1-3-1. Now the Gamecocks will try and extend their 1-point lead here. 40 seconds left in the half. Michi from a deep 3-point range off the iron, no good again. He hasn't been able to knock one down, and that was probably 23, 24 feet away. And so about 5 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Razorbacks can't necessarily play for the last shot. Gamecocks trying to switch to no, they're going to stay 1-3-1. They just put Jacoby Wright on top of it this time. So a little bit of an adjustment with Davis dropping to a wing. 7 on the shot clock. Mark doesn't realize it, and he forces it out to Battle. Battle lets it fly, and that's going to be a loose ball and another violation, a shot clock violation, as 3 straight turnovers by Arkansas against the 1-3-1 zone. The Gamecocks will have 3.9 seconds left to try and add to their 1-point edge here before halftime. They're going to come up and guard Michi Johnson closely because they don't want him to get a running start, but Lamont Paris is going to use a timeout since he's got one to burn here before halftime anyway that he can't take with him to the second half. And so Lamont says, hey, why not see if we can break out the grease board and draw something up that is effective and gives us a little momentum going to the locker room.
Well, plus the 1-3-1 zone causes 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and a scoring drop for the Razorbacks of 2-12.
Well, Lamont Paris talks about it. He's got that in his back pocket. He can use it when it's needed, and felt like it was needed because Arkansas wasn't missing. They're at 54% in the first half and scoring at a pace that the Gamecocks typically don't play at. You know, Carolina likes to keep games in the 60s, and this one here before halftime has Arkansas already with 35 points on the board. Gamecocks have 36. They've got a 1-point edge. They're going to bring Collin Murray-Boyles.
After review, the shot clock has been reset to 4.3.
Oh, wow, that's a break. Yeah. Gamecocks see 4.3 seconds on the shot clock now, so a little more time to work with. Collin Murray-Boyles came back in, and it'll be Talon Cooper who will inbound. They'll set up Michi and CMB near midcourt and send Jacoby and Zach Davis all the way to the other end of the court, like down by the baseline. Gamecocks are going to try and get it into Michi, and they do. And he takes it across midcourt, and he's got 2 seconds left, and he'll run to the rim, and he'll score it before the horn.
How about that?
That's how you make a timeout work. The Gamecocks draw it up. They get a little extra time on the official review of the clock, and Michi Johnson makes Arkansas pay.
Thank you, Coach. A tremendous finish there for you guys. What do you like? What do you want to see him do better?
I think we got off to a slow start defensively. I think we do a much better job that way. Offensively, we found our groove. A couple guys got in and seemed a little unsettled, but we found our groove. I think the biggest part was we gave some stuff up early defensively. We got to find our groove defensively.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Ravi?
It's the junior Michi keeping his eye on the clock, Jimmy. Well, you got 4 dribbles to work with. And right there, you get that ball going towards your basket. Arkansas just doesn't stop the ball. They get it stretched out, which you can't do in conversion defense with a short clock. You've got to pack that thing in and not give a drive opportunity. Well done by the timeout.
Good
Lamont
first half, man. 38-35. We're about set to send it to Peter, Damian, Ron, Pat, and Coach Pearl, the Academy Sports and Outdoor Halftime Report.
Halftime of this contest featured, as usual, the recognition of legends from each of the programs participating. For South Carolina, it was Columbia native, Eau Claire High School star, and former Gamecock standout Joe Rett that was recognized on the court, Casey.
And watched Joe Rett grow up. And he was recruited. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Somebody just passed by. But yeah, Joe Rett, terrific player all those years, and you know, he had to stop a little bit because of a heart condition, but he still scored, what, 1,500 points?
Yeah, led the Gamecocks to the NCAA Tournament in 1989, and I know he's as excited as the rest of us to see this team going back to the NCAA Tournament here in 2024, but let's see if we can hang around Nashville a little bit longer. I'm sure Joe wouldn't mind being recognized again tomorrow if we're here to play Auburn tomorrow afternoon.
He would love it, and I meant to mention George Felton, who recruited Joe.
Gamecocks basketball as the second half begins. Carolina with a 3-point lead, which is the largest they had. They did not lead for much of the first half at all, and they'll come back to their original starting 5. B.J. Mack and Collin Cooper on the perimeter with Zach Davis. Cooper's got a wide open 3 at the top of the key. Lets it fly. It's too strong. Long rebound. Back out to Cooper. Collin ran it down in front of the Gamecock bench. They get a fresh 20 on the shot clock, and now there's a foul away from the basketball as Michi had a pass go through his hands and was going to be a turnover, but on the opposite side, a whistle and a foul called, I guess, on the Razorbacks. Although, yep, that'll be on Tremont Mark. So Mark gets his second. Gamecocks lob it in from underneath the hoop. 38-35. Murray-Boyles in the low post. Backs in, goes over his left shoulder, and puts it up and in.
Another good close finish by Murray-Boyles.
Used his right hand that time. Most folks think they defend him by not wanting him to go over his right shoulder and use his left hand. He crossed them up that time. 40-35. Gamecocks back in a man-to-man. I wondered if they would start the second half in a zone. They did not. Missed shot from Khalif Battle. Gamecocks have the rebound. Coop's going to go coast to coast, and he's going to lay it up and in with the left hand. Nobody got back for the Razorbacks, and Collin Murray-Boyles cleared a path, and Collin Cooper took it to the rim. 4 straight points to begin the second half of the Gamecocks, and they push the lead out to 7. 42-35, just over a minute gone by here in the second half. Gamecocks trying to assert some real pressure on this Arkansas team that won in overtime last night against Vanderbilt. Pull up 3, going to be short. That was off the hands of Battle. Gamecocks rebound. Cooper brings it into the front court. Number's not there. He pulls it up the top of the key and angles his dribble to the right. Carolina reverses it. Zach Davis on the right baseline, working against Brazil. Hands it off to Michi. Michi now checked by Brazil. Feeds in the low post to BJ. Mack against the guard Ellis. Backs him down, puts it up with the jump hook. No, but there's Murray-Boyles to clean it up with the stick back. 16 for Collin Murray-Boyles. 2 minutes gone by the second half, and the Gamecocks have gone from trailing to up 9 here early in the second stanza. It is 44-35. Arkansas still hasn't gotten a bucket in this second half. Here's L. Ellis stepping back and trying 3, and that's off the iron, no good, and B.J. Mack has the screen out in the rebound. Arkansas shot the lights out in the first half. A cold start to the second half. as Michi brings it into the front court. Brazil's out on the perimeter guarding Michi. That means there's a mouse in the house. Zach Davis will drive to the rim. Shot missed. He goes right back up and tips it in himself, and timeout is called. The Gamecocks blitz Arkansas out of the locker room. They score the first 8 points of the half, and they've got a double-digit lead at 46-35. Eric Musselman had to call a timeout to stop the bleeding. How
about Zach Davis on that last play? He missed the layup, but tipped it back in with the left hand.
Just went right back up like he was on a pogo stick. Zach gets his second field goal of the game. The lead is 46-35, and we're stepping aside for a timeout. Well, Vanderbilt had a 14-point lead over Arkansas at halftime yesterday, and it looked like Razorbacks might just pack it in. But Caleb Battle, when we asked him at halftime, what adjustments did you make, what changes did you make, he said Coach Musselman called us soft, and that apparently lit a fire. They came back and won in overtime. I wonder what Coach Musselman's calling them right now in the timeout, because his team has given up an 8-0 run to begin the half, and the Gamecocks have a lead of 11, 46-35. Razorbacks will have the basketball. South Carolina still, Casey, not relying on the three ball at all, just pounding it inside and getting buckets from the paint. And they had 26 paint points in the first half. And I dare say all 8 that they've had here in the second half may have come from the paint as well. Here come the Razorbacks. Brazil swinging the ball in the face of Murray-Boyles, who reaches in and slaps it free, but gets called for the foul. And first on Collin. He knows that probably wasn't the wisest thing to do. He just kind of holds his head up in the air and looks at the sky and clenches his eyes shut, knowing that was not helpful, but not a bad blow at the same time. Here come the Razorbacks now. It's L. Ellis running to the rim and missing the floater. Gamecocks grab the rebound. Coop's going to push the tempo again, brings it to the top of the key, now slams on the brakes, and they'll reset. Zach Davis in the corner, fakes a three, looks to drive, cut off by Mackay Mitchell. BJ's got it on the left wing at the elbow. Picks up the dribble, decides not to launch, gives to Coop. Coop will drive into the paint. Cut off by Tremont Mark, who knocks the ball free. Coop gets it back, shoots the fadeaway jumper at the free throw line, and he got it.
Oh, what a beautiful play. He
was crowded, and he had to lean back, but he got the shot to go, and that's 8 for Talon Cooper. Lead reaches 13, 48-35. Gamecocks, and the Gamecocks thought they had another steal, and they're going to call a foul on B.J. Mack. It was Murray-Boyles who got his hands on the basketball, so the foul was away from the basketball, I guess, and they give it to B.J., and it's his second. Michi will get a rest as Jacoby Wright returns. Second foul of the half on the Gamecocks at the 16:30 mark. Carolina leads at 48-35. Side court inbounds for the Razorbacks. They bring it into Tremont Mark against Zach Davis. Goes left, leaves to Mitchell. Now Battle comes to get the basketball. Jacoby Wright trails him. Over to Brazil. Has it knocked free by Murray-Boyles, and this time he does get the steal. Ahead to Cooper, bounces it to Mack. BJ will try a three on the left side, circles the rim but won't stay down. Gamecocks with all that momentum, and I think BJ was trying to bring them to their feet here at Bridgestone Arena with that one. A little early, but it almost went down anyway. Here's Mitchell scoring from low on the left as he worked his way across the lane and banked it up and in over Murray-Boyles. First points of the half for the Razorbacks. Mackay Mitchell with 9 off the bench, an 11-point edge for South Carolina, 48-37. Here's BJ again trying to back down in the post, and he is fouled on his way up, and we'll get a timeout. 15:39 remaining. Carolina with an 11-point edge at 48-37. Did they call that an offensive foul? Before we go to break.
Immediate timeout?
It's immediate timeout, but they're calling an offensive foul on B.J. Mack. Wow. That'll be 3 on B.J. as we go to the break. Third personal foul on B.J. Mack on that charge. Don Daly called him for his second foul, and then he gets him for his third. And both of them were kind of hard to figure out with all the contact they're letting them have today where they came from. But B.J. will have to sit as Josh Gray returns. Miles Studi also on the court for Carolina as Meechie Johnson and Zach Davis also are resting.
And Josh played well first half, 2 for 3, 2 dunks.
Arkansas basketball as play resumes. Gamecocks got the lead up to 13. It's 11 right now, and Arkansas, I'm sure, feels like they've got to get a run going. They get Jalen Graham on the floor. He had a big first half off the bench, almost traveled, somehow kept his pivot foot down as he was backing down on Murray-Boyles. Gives it to Tremont Mark. Back to Graham, about 30 feet from the hoop. Will look to drive, cut off on the baseline, finds Battle cutting, and he spins it up and under and in. What a tough bucket for Caleb Battle. Gamecocks got caught ball watching, and from the weak side, Caleb Battle streaked in from the baseline and made a circus shot on the up and under spinner. That's 4 straight for Arkansas, and they cut the deficit to 9 at 48-39. Murray-Boyles proceeding to back his way down into the low post, throws the shot up off the glass and in.
Give him 18.
So smooth and taking his time and just worked Jalen Graham one way and then spun back the other way and kisses it off the glass like it's easy, and it's just not, folks. It's not as easy as that young man makes it look. 50-39 South Carolina. Here comes Battle again, and that's an offensive foul. Mackay Mitchell got caught with a moving screen after he had given a dribble handoff, and the Gamecocks get it back on the turnover. Second foul on Mackay Mitchell. Carolina needed something to slow down Arkansas's creeping building momentum, and they get it right there with the offensive foul. And that is turnover number 8 by the Razorbacks. Gamecocks have only turned it over 4 times. And with an 11-point lead here with 14 and a half minutes left, they'll bring it into the front court. The winner faces Auburn tomorrow. Collin Cooper with the basketball to the left elbow. Feeds down low for Josh Gray. He'll flush it, and he's fouled. Good entry feed from Coop. And Josh spins off his defender who was tugging at his jersey in desperation, but couldn't keep the big man from elevating and putting it down.
Josh, 3 dunks, 3 for 4.
When you get offensive production like that from the big fella, that is a real bonus. The foul was on Caleb Battle, his second personal. At 6'5", he knew he was in no man's land against Josh as he caught it on the post, but he didn't expect Gray to be so nimble as to spin around him like that, and the foul did not come close to stopping the ball from getting to the rim. Josh's free throw attempt rattles back out. Not a bad stroke, just didn't stay down. Gamecocks 7 of 9 at the free throw line. They've held Arkansas to only 4 free throw attempts. That's been a key in this one. And now Arkansas turns it over again. Tremont Mark threw a pass for Battle, but Battle was moving, and it ends up in the Razorback bench.
It's 9 turnovers for the Razorbacks. We got 9 points off those 9 turnovers.
A 13-point lead matches the largest of the game and a chance to build on it. Miles Studi fidgeting with that brace on his left knee. I'm sure that big thing is not comfortable at all to try and play it. Jacoby Wright on the left wing, feeds it to Josh. Josh is fouled and nothing called. A dunk attempt, and he was absolutely mugged, and they let it go, and Arkansas comes away with the basketball. Mercy. At the other end, Graham posts up, double team, feeds it off to Mitchell, and from low on the left, Mackay Mitchell will score it. That's quite the turn of events. Looked like Josh was going to get his 4th dunk of the game. Instead, Jalen Graham gets credit, I guess, with a blocked shot. And a lot of contact, but they let go. 52-41 Gamecocks, 13-15. Coop drives to the rim. Fouled on his way up, missed the shot, but he'll get a pair. Arkansas was just like almost urging him to take the baseline. I guess they thought they had enough rim protection. The Coop is so crafty. He got to the rim protection and then gave a great head and shoulders fake, got Mitchell off his feet, and collected Mackay's 3rd personal. 2 free throws for Talon Cooper. First one up and good. You know, Talon has played 1,054 minutes coming into today's game. No one else in the SEC had played more than 1,020. He had played 34 more minutes on the season than anyone else in the league. I guess that qualifies you as the Iron Man of the SEC.
He averages 34 minutes a game.
Second free throw is no good, so Coop with a rare miss. Gamecocks lead a dozen, 53-41 as we come to the 13-minute mark here in the second half. Caleb Battle on a pick and roll gives to Mitchell. B.J. Mack guards it well. They'll lob it low for Graham. Graham is double teamed in the post, so he feeds it across to Mitchell, and that's an easy layup. Miles Stute in the low post is not big enough to handle Jalen Graham, and B.J. had to come with help, and that left Mackay Mitchell at the rim. Mitchell's got 13, having another nice day off the bench for the Razorbacks. Gamecock lead is 10, 53-43. Jacoby Wright will drive to the rim. Up and under reverse, he gets run over from behind, and they don't call it again. Wow. Brazil just climbed his back, and at the other end, Mitchell throws up a runner that will not go. Gamecocks get the rebound.
We got a lucky break. That could have been BJ's fourth foul.
Yeah, but if they didn't call the foul at the other end, they sure as heck better not have called that one. Media timeout coming at our next dead ball. Stute with an open three, left corner, left it short, and Arkansas has the rebound. As we go under the 12-minute mark, Gamecocks lead is 10, but Arkansas has made 4 of its last 5 field goal attempts. On the day, the Razorbacks still at 51% from the field. Caleb Battle handle it at quarter court right side. Michi tries to stay with him. They'll lob it low again for Jalen Graham. Graham cross-court skip to Brazil. Pull up long two. That is way too strong, but on the weak side, nobody screened out Devo Davis. And the shot was missed so badly, it just landed right in his lap. And Devo Davis had the uncontested layup on the stick back. Razorbacks back within 8. Gamecocks could probably use a timeout right here. Now, they'll get Michi Johnson at the rim, and he'll blow the bunny, gets his own offensive rebound, and short arms the stick back, and now he's called for a foul. Wow, Michi. Bad possession there. He had 2 looks from point-blank range, missed them both, and then commits the foul. That gets the Gamecocks the timeout they needed, but not in the manner that they would have wanted it. Razorbacks trying to climb out of what was a 13-point hole. They trail the Gamecocks.
It's a matter of taste. Learn more at CertifiedSC.com.
Gamecocks in a drought, haven't scored a field goal in 3 minutes, and that has allowed Arkansas to cut into what was a 13-point deficit. Razorbacks are back within 8, 53-45, and still lots of time left here, 11-15.
We're all of our last 5, no field goals last 3 minutes. They're 5 of their last 7, and that's why they cut the deficit.
Razorback basketball's play resumes. Gamecocks will get B.J. Mack and Collin Murray-Boyles back on the court. They were struggling with a lack of size out there without those two, as Arkansas has gone to a bigger lineup, playing Jalen Graham and Mackay Mitchell together. Both of those guys are 6'10", and they are a force, and Graham misses a bucket from close range here as he had another good look from close range, just too strong off the back iron. And in transition, the Gamecocks almost get a dunk from Zach Davis, but Graham gets the foul to keep it from going down.
That was a good look by Jacoby Wright to hit him on an excellent pass.
Sure was. Jacoby's shown great vision. He has 3 assists today and a couple other really nifty looks as well. Now the Gamecocks need Zach Davis to make some free throws. Carolina at the line, 8 of 11, but only 1 of 3 here in the second half. Zach's first attempt, too strong.
You got to make your free throws.
Zach had 13 Saturday at Mississippi State. And you look at his numbers down the stretch. After Stute went down with that knee injury, Big games for Zach at Texas A&M with a new career high of 16 after having 14 at Ole Miss the game before. He misses both free throws, but Arkansas was in the lane early, so he gets another try. The first one was too strong. The second one was short-armed. Let's see if Zach can at least dial it in and get 1 out of 3 attempts here. We know how that can be contagious, Casey. You start missing free throws, and it spreads like wildfire on a roster, and he missed again. My goodness. Zach Davis goes 0 for 3, and the Razorbacks with a chance to cut further into the 8-point deficit. Thought he was going to get a dunk in transition. He ended up with nothing out of that possession. Gamecocks in the man-to-man. Caleb Battle out top. Throws the lob. B.J. Mack breaks it up, but Battle gets it back. Lobs it out top to Brazil. He'll step into a 3. That's no good. And a rebound pulled down by Jalen Graham. His jump hook stick back is good. Jalen Graham, huge factor off the bench here for the Razorbacks. He's got 8 points. Arkansas's got 25 bench points in this contest. They score a lot of bench points. I think they average 20, almost 30 a game. It's 53-47 Gamecocks halfway through the second half of play. B.J. Mack in the low post. Backs in on Mitchell. Spins around him. Cut off again. Has to feed it back. Zach's going to have to try a fall-away 3. That's no good. Murray-Boyles tips the rebound once and twice, but Arkansas has it. Murray-Boyles is angry that he didn't get a call there. He was being held by Jalen Graham when that ball was in the air. 6-0 run for the Razorbacks as the ball is knocked out of bounds, and Arkansas will keep it. Gamecocks haven't scored in almost 3.5 minutes, and Talon Cooper will check back in for Carolina and replace Jacoby Wright.
Well, we're 0 for our last 6, and the momentum has swung to the Razorbacks.
0 for 6 from the field, have missed those 3 free throws from Zach Davis, and I think someone else may have missed one in there too. Offense has dried up. 6-point edge as the ball is inbounded, and Devo Davis finds Mitchell in the lane again, and his jump hook comes up short, and Makai Mitchell slaps his hands in frustration as B.J. Mack has that rebound. Let's see if Cooper can get the offense back in gear as the orchestrator of so much. Zach Davis on the near side wing. That's the right side of the court. Bounces to Murray-Boyles. Collin was the offensive hero of the first half with a dozen. BJ, wide open 3. Left side, got it. Gamecocks needed that.
That was a huge shot.
BJ's first 3 of the day give him a dozen. Gamecocks with only their second three-pointer of the entire contest. They're 2 of 14. Had to have that one. 56-47. Mitchell finds Battle. Backdoor cut, and he's got a layup. Michi got caught ball watching, and Caleb Battle just disappeared from his line of sight, and his teammate found him. 14 for Caleb Battle. Zach Davis drives, gives to Murray-Boyles. He jumps up and flushes it with 2 hands.
That was a beautiful dime. I mean, perfectly timed.
Just ran a little 2-man game on the left wing. 8.5, 20 in the game for Collin Murray-Boyles. He leads all scorers. Gamecocks again by 9, 58-49, and a holding call on Michi Johnson trying to stay with Caleb Battle. Second on Michi. 5th on the Gamecocks. Both teams with 5 personals. Tremont Mark comes off the Arkansas bench, and he'll replace Trevin Brazil. Man, they had Brazil, Mitchell, and Graham on the court altogether. All 3 of those dudes are 6'10 or bigger. Razorbacks basketball. Devin Davis drives, finds a backdoor cutter, but the ball is juggled, and Murray-Boyles is there to pick up the loose ball. He'll bring it up court, gives to Zach, back to Murray-Boyles, runs to the rim, left-hand shot up and in.
That kid just can't miss. I'm sorry.
He's unbelievable from close range. Collin Murray-Boyles makes it happen again. Gamecocks lead it back, have the lead back to double digits, 60-49. We'll get a media timeout at our next dead ball as we go under the 8-minute mark. Caleb Battle feeds down low for Mitchell. Gamecocks double team him. He gives it up. Now he gets it back on the baseline against BJ. Gamecocks run the double team at it, and he throws it into the backcourt, and that'll be an over and back violation. Gamecocks will have the ball with an 11-point edge when we come back. 7:38 on the second half clock. 60-49 Carolina in the second round of the SEC basketball tournament. Now this.
They had a turnover. but you still can't feel comfortable at this point in the game with 7:38 to go with the Razorbacks.
Yeah, you're right. You don't take this one for granted. Gamecocks have seen too many times this season games tighten up late. They've held on to win some. They had a couple of them get away that way, like LSU, like Georgia. So you don't want to fall into that category in this instance. See if you can throw maybe a knockout punch here in the next couple minutes. We'll see. Carolina will have the basketball out of the timeout as Arkansas just committed its 11th turnover. Gamecocks have taken great care of the basketball. Only 4 turnovers.
Now, basket here would be big time.
Gamecocks with 42 of their 60 points coming in the paint. They've only made 2 threes in 14 attempts. Meanwhile, we're being held up because we've got an ESPN cameraman who
on the court
is standing on the court. It's his world, man. We're just visiting. Gamecocks lob it in, out top to BJ. Gets it back to Coop on the right wing. Measures it, now reverses it. Zach Davis has it at the top of the key. Gives back to BJ. That side of the court left empty. They're going to let him work. BJ backs down, shoots the baseline jumper, and he's fouled. Again, the subtle use of the ball fake got the defender off balance, and he gets the contact from Jalen Graham, and BJ will shoot 2.
I don't want to jinx him, but he's 3 for 3 from the line, and you need these 2.
3rd foul on Jalen Graham, only the 6th foul of the half on the Razorbacks, but it was a shooting foul, so BJ will get a pair. Carolina trying to find the range again at the line, and BJ does indeed. Sinks his first one. 13 points, 8 rebounds for the grad student from Charlotte, and he gets them both. And BJ pushes that lead to 13, matches the largest of the contest, 62-49 Gamecocks. Carolina has played exclusively man-to-man in this second half, and Arkansas has not made shots like they did in the first half. Gamecocks had 3 possessions late in the first half of 1-3-1, and Arkansas turned it over on all 3 of them. Now we get a personal foul on Collin Murray-Boyles, trying to defend Jalen Graham. Graham was getting into one of those spin moves. If you heard us earlier, his nickname is Spin Cycle, and boy, he's shown us why. They've turned him loose in this second half. Saw a quote in the preseason going back before the year got started from Eric Musselman about him, and now we get a technical foul on the Arkansas bench. Eric Musselman gets teed up. Olandis Poole had heard enough. And a tee on the Arkansas head coach will give the Gamecocks free throws and a chance to add to the 13-point lead. Wow. I don't think he wanted that one there. There's sometimes a coach wants one.
But not in this situation.
I don't think that's it. So BJ back at the line and making another one. 77% on the season, but boy of late, he has been dialed in. Was 7 of 8 Saturday at Mississippi State. He gets both of these, and now he is 7 for 7 in this contest. So push the lead to 15. Now Arkansas will keep the basketball. You do not get the ball and the free throws because it was their possession coming out of that foul on Murray-Boyles. They inbound it and bring it out front to Caleb Battle. Gamecocks double team him again. He feeds a pass through the double team. Now Graham's got it. Low on the right. Jump hook no good, but Murray-Boyles just fouled him again. That'll be 3 on Collin. No surprise after Musselman got teed up and was working the officials. If you're Collin there, you almost have to just not even guard. Just stand there like a statue because officials are going to be looking for anything to even the scales a little bit there. 7th foul on Carolina, each team in the bonus now, and Jalen Graham, not a good free throw shooter typically, is at the line to shoot 2, and the first one too strong.
Well, 43% is
that's
pretty
not
bad.
Yeah. He's not good. No, I was going to tell you the quote from Muss about Jalen Graham. He said before the season, if he plays 2 or 40 minutes, you're going to run plays for him when he's in the game. When he gets the ball inside, he makes such a high percentage of his shots. He's got a super soft touch, and he has had that on full display here. He is 4 for 5 from the field has given them 8 points off the bench in 17 minutes, and they've leaned on him heavily here in the second half, and he makes 1 of 2. Gamecocks by 14, 64-50 with the basketball. Under 7 minutes left. Murray-Boyles drives, hangs in the air, gives to Davis, has his shot rejected. Murray-Boyles picks up another loose ball, kicks it out to the perimeter. Still plenty of time, 10 on the shot clock. They'll go back to CMB in the high post. He's double teamed, gives to Zach. Zach drives to the rim, throws it up, and he's fouled. He got clotheslined, folks. Absolutely clotheslined. And as he was being tugged to the ground, Zach throws it up and in. What a circus shot.
Circus and very, very tough. A strong move.
Jalen Graham got another one. That's 4 on him now. And Zach Davis with an and-one opportunity. What a difficult shot that was. 66-50. Gamecocks, his free throw way too strong, and Arkansas has the rebound. Wow, Zach he's struggling right now at the free throw line. That's 4 misses in a row, and they've each one probably looked a little worse than the last. Here comes Graham again. Runs to the right, throws a high floater off the glass, and he's got another bucket. Jalen Graham in double figures with 11 for Arkansas. Josh Gray on the court, by the way, for the Gamecocks as B.J. Mack gets a rest here with just over 6 minutes left. He's going to get it down low, and he's got another two-hand flush. Zach Davis with
another beautiful dime.
Great pass. Gamecocks now with 14 assists on 27 made baskets, and Josh Gray's got himself 8 points. 68-52, and now Zach Davis with a steal as he reaches in as a Razorback was looking to drive and pokes it free and into the hands of a teammate. And it may be unraveling a little bit here for Arkansas. Biggest deficit of the game, 16 points, and Carolina with a chance to push it even further. Zach on the left wing, gives to Josh in the high post. Gray bounces down low for Murray-Boyles. Spins, throws it up from a tough angle, and somehow it goes in anyway. You kidding me with that? What a shot.
Not purposely trying to cut you off, but that was amazing.
It looked like Graham almost had the ball pinned in his hand, and he powered it through. 11 field goals for Collin Murray-Boyles, 24 big points. It's 70-52 Gamecocks. Devo Davis for 3. That misses. Tremont Mark has the offensive rebound. Kicks it back out on the perimeter. They'll find Makai Mitchell flashing in the paint. He catches it and puts a jump hook up and in. Gamecocks see their run stop, but they're still up 16 with less than 5 minutes left, and Arkansas is going to have to pick up the defensive tempo. They run a trap at Talon Cooper. He beats it with a pass to Zach Davis, and Carolina's going to run some clock. They're going to play a little keep away now. Murray-Boyles finds Zach. Davis to the rim. He's got the flush. Gamecocks just spread them out and then attacked, and subtle little hip check from Josh Gray there to make sure no one could get there with help defense, and Zach Davis gets the dunk. Here's Caleb Battle going back to work. He misses from the low post, and Murray-Boyles has the rebound, and the Arkansas season may be on life support. We come to the 4-minute mark. Gamecocks leading it by 18, 72-54. Michi bump, no foul called. He knocks Battle to the floor, runs to the rim, lays it in.
Was that his first basket?
That is his first basket of the second half. He's got 6, and we see a 30-second timeout called. 20-point edge for the Gamecocks, putting away the Razorbacks. It is 74-54. We'll step aside and return after this. Slow down Arkansas in the first half, gave up 35 points, but boy, they have locked the Razorbacks down here in the second stanza. 19 points for Arkansas, and it's not that the shooting has been terrible, but they have not been able to get to the free throw line today. The second leading team in the nation in free throws and free throw attempts, Casey, they barely made it to the stripe today.
They've had 6 free throws. They hit 5 out of 6, which is terrific, but we knew coming in we had a guard without foul, and we've done an excellent job.
Gamecocks, meanwhile, have shot 18 free throws and made 12. Again, Arkansas set a school record with 355 made free throws in conference games this year. 355 made free throws in 18 conference games. And they also set a school record by making 77% of those free throws in conference play. Gamecocks have just basically said, well, you can't make them if we don't let you go shoot them at the free throw line. They're down 20 are the Hogs. Under 4 minutes left. Gamecocks just need to play smart the rest of the way to advance and take on Auburn tomorrow. And finally, get a win in this building in Nashville, the Bridgestone Arena. Shot clock at 7. Caleb Battle will drive. He gets hung up between B.J. Mack and Murray-Boyles. They're going to call a foul. I guess this will be B.J. Now, they're going to give it to Murray-Boyles, and that's a terrible call by Don Daly. Murray-Boyles did nothing there. I mean, he did absolutely nothing there, and he knows it, and that's why he's saying, what? That could not have been on me. If you get another look at this one, folks, if you're watching on TV, watch what they called a foul. Basically, Battle got the ball hung up on B.J. Mack's back. B.J. had his back to him, and the ball got stuck on B.J.'s back, and because it looked so awkward, Don Daly thought there had to be a foul in there. And he called Collin for his fourth. And I'm telling you, Collin Murray-Boyles didn't do a single thing on that one. Caleb Battle at the line makes one. Now he makes two. 16 for Battle. Again, he's averaging 31 over his last 6 games, so Carolina's actually done a good job against him. Full court pressure by the Razorbacks off the made free throws. Gamecocks beat it with ease. And they will now set up the half court and take some time. 74-56. Meechie Johnson stepped on the midcourt line, and he turns it over. That's an over and back violation and a rare turnover by this Gamecock team today. Only the 5th turnover of the game, and a careless one there as Meechie didn't realize how close he was to midcourt. And there's no line there to see as the SEC logo has it basically obscured. But I'm sure that's not an excuse Lamont Paris wants to accept. 74-56 Gamecocks. Devo Davis drives to the lane, throws it up off the glass. No, and B.J. Mack has the weak side rebound. Great defense from Collin Cooper again. Guarding without fouling. Under 3 minutes left. Coop to the rim. Goes up and under and gets the reverse. How'd he get to the other side and score that bucket? Devo Davis goes end to end, and at the other end, he'll score as well. Gamecocks didn't get back defensively as Coop, when he made the layup, ended up spilled on the floor, and no one took his man at the other end. And Devo Davis said, tit for tat, you got a layup, I'll get one too. 76-58 Gamecocks, 2.5 minutes left. BJ on the left wing, drives, goes behind his back with a dribble. Now backs in against Mitchell. Nothing there, he knows it, gives it back out to Meechie. Shot clock at 4. Meechie drives, kicks to BJ. 3 from the top of the key. That is a dagger. He beats the shot clock expiration with his second 3 of the afternoon. Gamecocks push the lead to 21, 79-58. What a second half for this squad. B.J. Mack now with 19 points to go with the 24 of Murray-Boyles, and a foul called on the Gamecocks. And it looks like with this lead at 79-58, Lamont Paris suddenly said, let's think about tomorrow. I'm going to pull my starting guards. He's got Morris Ugasuk, Jacoby Wright, and Ibrahim Adiba at the scorer's table, and they will replace Meechie Johnson, Talon Cooper, and Collin Murray-Boyles.
You know, Derek, I certainly don't want to do play-by-play, but this has been so exciting to watch that.
Gamecocks have made 7 straight shots. They have just absolutely squeezed the life out of Arkansas. They got the Hogs on the ropes, and they did not let them off of the ropes. They threw the knockout punch. Trevin Brazil makes the first free throw. That foul, by the way, was on Zach Davis, his 3rd. Brazil hit 3s on the first 2 possessions of the game. Then he got 2 fouls, and they sat him the rest of the half, and he hadn't scored again until just now. I'm telling you, sometimes you have got to trust your older guys, especially in the postseason. They took Trevin Brazil out of this game, and he has never been able to climb back into it.
We played 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
And he was so good for them yesterday. 79-60, less than 2 minutes left. Gamecocks with the ball and a 19-point edge, and now a bad pass, but Ugasuk runs it down near midcourt. 5 on the shot clock. Morris is going to have to try and make something happen. He'll drive, he'll travel, he'll throw a shot up and in, but they'll call the travel first. He banked it in. Gamecocks still haven't missed. He's made 7 in a row. That would have been 8 in a row, but that one won't count. They'll call the traveling violation on Morris Ugasuk. Razorbacks get it back with 90 seconds remaining. Stay with us following the conclusion of this one for the Carolina Ford Dealers locker room report. Devo Davis, pull-up jumper left wing is good for Arkansas. That's 8 for Davis. 79-62. Ugasuk has his pocket pick. Caleb Battle steals it from him, and he'll go down and dunk it. Well, you pull your starters to give them a rest, but if you got a true freshman trying to handle this full-court pressure, you may be asking a little much of him. And now Zach Davis brings it into the front court, and he has it stolen away. And here comes Devo Davis in the other direction, who promptly throws it out of bounds. It's 79-64 Gamecocks, and there are 49.6 seconds left. And Lamont Paris saying right now, hey guys, prove me again why I trusted you. How about you guys handle this pressure? The veteran Jacoby Wright this time says, let's not let freshmen do this, or sophomores. How about an upperclassman? Jacoby weaves his way through traffic, gets it into the front court, and now South Carolina can just take the air out of the basketball. 30 seconds left with 10 on the shot clock, and now a foul committed by the Razorbacks as Trevin Brazil hacks Ibrahim Adiba. Adiba will get a chance to get into the scorebooks. By the way, on the Carolina Ford Dealers locker room report, we will visit with South Carolina assistant coach Eddie Shannon. Of course, Lamont Paris has to go do all of the media responsibilities that come with a tournament, but we will, if we're still on the air, we'll try and get to his post-game press conference if he's up there while we're still on the air. Dibba misses the front end of the one-and bonus, and Battle goes coast to coast and gets another bucket. Gamecocks trying to get this game over with. They'll foul Dibba again with 20.7 seconds left. And Ibrahima, Ebo's got one of the funkiest looking free throw shots you'll ever see. It is basically a walking lane violation because there's almost no way you can not step into the lane early. He raises the ball above his head, and then he holds onto it after he starts his motion. It seems almost impossible to make a shot when he shoots that way, as well as impossible to stay out of the lane. First attempt, no good. 20.7 seconds left. Gamecocks by 13. They got the lead up to 20. Pulled the starting backcourt, and the reserves have allowed Arkansas to make it close, but Ebo makes one. There you go.
He's in the books.
He gets a free throw. He gets an SEC tournament point. 80-66 Carolina. 20 seconds left as Arkansas brings it across midcourt. And now Makai Mitchell loses the ball off his foot, but it's picked up by teammate Trevin Brazil. 10 seconds left. Arkansas not in any real hurry. Battle's going to try and get himself one more bucket, but he'll miss the three. The Gamecocks rebound, and that will do it. You can put Spurs on South Carolina's first win in Nashville in the SEC Tournament since 2015. It's been that long since we won a game in this building, but this Gamecock team is just built different. They defeat Arkansas 80-66. They tie the school record for wins in a season with 26 victories against only 6 losses, and they will advance to the quarterfinals of the SEC Tournament tomorrow afternoon to face the Auburn Tigers.
And we look forward to playing Auburn again. They absolutely killed us in Lee County, Alabama. So it's a big game for us. It's a big game for Auburn. Really look forward to tomorrow afternoon.
The number 15 team in the nation proves once again that they are indeed worthy of everything that they've achieved so far this year. And they end the Arkansas season here in Nashville. The Razorbacks finished the year 16-17. Eric Musselman had never had a team in 8 previous seasons not reach 20 wins. This time, not only do they not get to 20, they will finish with a losing record for the first time in his head coaching tenure. South Carolina a winner here over Arkansas. Stay with us. The Carolina Ford Dealers locker room report is next after this.
Situations, and boy, he is a tough cover, hard to handle, not only in this tournament, but in that NCAA tournament. You've got to have a versatile, strong, physical guy at that 4 spot, as he probably breaks Marty's hand when he shakes him.
Yep, Collin Murray-Boyles just about set to be interviewed by Marty. Marty.
Collin Murray-Boyles and the South Carolina Gamecocks with a tremendous victory, 24 points, 7 rebounds, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you describe your performance?
This is my first time being here, so, just thankful to have the opportunity. Thankful for my teammates finding me the ball, letting me operate down low. So I really credit them. Credit coach for letting me play, letting the team play, so it's all good.
When it's really working for you like it was today and you're able to get to that left hand, how does that feel for you? Do you almost feel like you're unstoppable?
Of course. That's how everybody should feel if you're getting hot, You should always feel like nobody can guard you, so that's how I felt tonight.
The last time you guys played Auburn, do you remember what happened?
Yes, I remember what happened. I'm trying to get our get back, but they're a good team, so it's going to be tough again. But they're not in that jungle no more, so hopefully we can come out with the victory this time.
Congratulations. Tremendous effort.
Thank you.
Ravi?
Yeah, look, Marty, Jimmy shares that same. Every time Jimmy does a telecast, he feels like he is on it. There's nothing but on it.
They in the jungle tomorrow. That's what he said.
80-66 our final score. We'll send it up to Peter.
Thank you, Carl. It was a, 13-point victory, the first time South Carolina met Arkansas this year. This time, just a touch better. 14 points, a big win for Lamont Paris's Gamecocks as they continue to just have the season to remember. Peter Burns, Ron Slade, Damian Fishback, BJ Mack, and SEC Coach of the Year, maybe even more than that, Lamont Paris joining us right now. Coach, how much did you need to learn about your team in a tournament setting just to kind of put a bow on what you saw in the regular season?
Yeah, I think that's the next thing. I mean, we had a simulation of a tournament early on in the year. We were out in Phoenix and played a couple good teams out there. But, it was a survive and advance type scenario and a 2-day deal. But this is for all the marbles. So I think we got a little bit of a taste of it, but I think that was the next hurdle for this group.
BJ.
Yes, sir.
How good
hold on. Right here. Give me that paper towel.
What we got? We need that paper towel.
My man has been working hard. You make sure that he's getting.
That's only right.
He got a good sweat in today.
That's only right. It's only right.
To wipe him down.
Wipe him down. And look, Southern. This is what I first want to say. Coach. National Coach of the Year, correct that. You ain't got to say a word. Now, BJ Mack. Now, I just want to know, man, when the game's flowing like that and you're being efficient, how much does this play into part of your game, being able to stretch the floor when you got an inside presence like Murray-Boyles down low?
Oh, it's a crucial part. It just shows the work that Collin has been doing all throughout the year since he got back from having mono. So just him doing all the work on the inside and then me stretching the floor, it really opens up everything for us, especially for our guards. I feel like we have the best backcourt in the SEC, probably in the country too.
Yeah. Coach Paris, everybody knows you've done a phenomenal job, but I'd like to go into your mind a little bit to understand how you navigated this team from the very beginning, changing the mindset to starting winning games, and then proving that you should be in the SEC, proving that you should be ranked, proving that you should be in the tournament, and then what are your expectations now?
Yeah, well, the best thing for this group is that we were really confident. We put this group together intentionally with some older guys, some more skilled guys, and guys that were committed to being team players and winning at all costs. So then the season actually played out for us because every obstacle that we would overcome, someone doubted the next one. And it was one right after another. So, I started off with chip on your shoulder, and I had to say it. 2-3 weeks into the season, I didn't need to say it anymore. It was just out there for the guys. And then at some point, their belief had grown so high and their confidence had grown so high that they expect to win. Whenever we lace them up and go out there on the court, they expect to win.
BJ, was there one thing that stood out earlier this year that really kind of set the tone for this team? Whether it was a hater or whether it was something or the media saying something that just kind of sparked it?
It was really at the beginning when we seen the preseason polls.
We were ranked last.
Yeah, we were ranked last. Coach told us at the beginning, he was like, I'd rather be ranked last than be second to last. So we was like, hey, they didn't really, coming into it in the preseason, nobody really knew us, but now they know us.
Coach, you recently went with the contract extension, got the contract extension, pat on the back for what you've done, what your team has done. You don't get that without them. How much does this put pressure on you moving forward, or is this where you're supposed to be with it?
Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. I mean, this is had a great conversation with our athletics director, Ray Tanner, and we're really happy with where the program is. People talk about a lot of other opportunities that are there or might be out there, but this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the group. I love where I am. I love this group, and so we made it official pending the board approval. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed.
Get right, board. Get right, board.
No doubt. No doubt. My last question to you is, obviously Dawn Staley set the tone, right? And she comes to win championships. In order for you to win this SEC Tournament championship, you have to go through Auburn. What are your thoughts on facing them tomorrow?
Yeah, really good team. They played great in the first half. I mean, the first time we played them. I think they just outplayed us in general, but then they also made everything. So it turned out to be a 40-point game. So again, maybe it worked out that way. So there's some kind of chip on our shoulder in this game, trying to look for a little redemption. But they got a really talented team. They can score from the perimeter. Obviously, what Janai Broom and those guys do on the inside, they're well coached. They're disciplined. So we just got to get our game plan together, and we got to be come ready to play.
Yep. You guys have been ready to play from the jump.
That's
and
right.
We appreciate you making us media guys looking real dumb over here this entire season. Congratulations, BJ, Coach.
Thank you, National Coach of the Year.
On that. You'll be sticking around for a long time.